Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, February 28. Jamaica is now signatory to the CARICOM Multilateral Air Services Agreement, Massa. Prime Minister Andrew Holness signed the agreement on Wednesday while in St. Kitts for the 30th intersessional meeting of CARICOM heads of government. The agreement should facilitate increased intra-regional travel as it allows for no restriction on routes, capacity or traffic rights for airlines owned by CARICOM nations. Mr. Holness says Massa represents another step towards the implementation of Jamaica's open skies policy. The Prime Minister says this is also a step towards creating a framework for increased travel as well as ease of movement of passengers and goods among Caribbean territories. And still in St. Kitts, Prime Minister Andrew Holness held bilateral talks with the President of Estonia, Kirsty. The two leaders met on Tuesday. Among other things, they discussed the digital society and best practices from Estonia on the implementation of a national identification system. President Caligiled made the point that the successful implementation of a digital ID system was reliant on a supportive legal framework.
Which would mean data belongs to people. Government does not own the data, even if it has it in databases. Government takes responsibility for the validation of the IDs and also for the security of the data. Government takes measures for people to give them the opportunity to verify that the government has kept its promise. So all these kind of framework guarantees that people are safe and can trust the government. It comes from the legal space, it doesn't come from any technical thing.
In other news, the Microcredit Act 2019 was tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. The legislation seeks to ensure that persons who provide microcredit services are licensed by the regulatory authority. Operators of microcredit institutions will also be required to keep proper accounting and other records and must make reports to the regulatory authority on a timely basis.
The Microcredit Act, Mr. Speaker, seeks to bring regulation to that sector to ensure that Jamaicans are not subject to predatory lending practices, Jamaicans are not subject to excessive interest rates, and that Jamaicans are not subject to the abuse on the part of unregulated microcredit institutions.
The Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, and China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC, are partnering to build up to 1,900 housing solutions. Cabinet has approved the agreement for the houses to be constructed at Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine in 6 phases over a period of 60 months. The announcement came from Information Minister Senator Ruel Reid at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing.
CHEC had submitted an unsolicited proposal to undertake the development and following negotiations had agreed to an MOU. It must be noted that 263 acres of the northern portion had been separated from the property due to the construction of Highway 2000. It was further noted that contracts entered into since 2013 for the development of those lands had been terminated because of inactivity on the part of contractors.
The Victoria Jubilee Hospital has received medical equipment valued at $6,700 from United Kingdom-based charity Rejuvenate Jamaica Hospitals. The equipment, which will improve the hospital's neonatal services, include 5 incubators and 5 phototherapy devices. They were handed over on Friday. The charity will also be donating 2 blood pressure machines and other equipment to the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH. And finally, Minister of Health Dr. Christopher Tufton is reporting a tapering off of the dengue fever outbreak in the country, with further reduction expected in March. Dr. Tufton says this is as a result of the ministry's vector control program.
And that's because we have 1,000 or over 1,000 vector workers, temporary and permanent, across Jamaica, visiting communities, carrying the message, treating breeding sites, and we believe that it is working.
Dr. Tufton was speaking at the ministry's Taking Responsibility Road Tour in Hanover recently. He said the ministry would continue to encourage personal responsibility, managing solid waste and water systems, as well as water storage, which are major contributors to the breeding of mosquitoes. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.